morning, everyone. Welcome to my channel, Marianne's Mystic Mentions. I'm Marianne. Welcome to your Sun Sign Love Connection readings for the second half of September. It's already coming around again. And I am grateful that you're here and taking the time. I am looking forward to reading for the featured sign today of beautiful earth and intelligent, just dedicated, service-oriented sign of Virgo. And I am going to be truthful. I am recording this on September 11th, so it is a day that is, it's historical. It's, 20 years since the actual occurrence of the, Twin Towers devastation. And it's something that, I don't know how to explain it. It will never leave any of us. Some of us affected far more than others, but all of us affected. It was happening in your season, which we're still in, Virgo, and you're the featured sign today. And it makes so much sense to me as I've studied throughout the years about, astrology and the different characteristics and signs. So it is about specifically each personality of the persons I speak of, but astrology also carries on to countries. And for example, United States is under it was, started in 1776, June, I would imagine. I'm thinking July 4th, excuse me. I'm not great at this, so I'm going to be honest. But my point is that the United States represents the sign of Cancer. And this goes on and you can just figure all these things out. I'm not going to do that now. What I am going to say is that it makes perfect sense to me that during that horrific day, it was in the sign of Virgo because there was such planning and organizing and detail to what occurred. And it happened for so many years prior to any of us having, well, probably more people than I know, but a lot of us, certainly civilians who just, living day to day, had no clue about. And then the mere fact that just the way people were so incredibly willing to sacrifice their lives to help others is exactly representational of the truest energies and characteristics of a Virgo, service-oriented, working to better themselves and help others in the process. A mutable sign that's always open to changing and bettering, and perfectionism is definitely a part of that. Knowing there isn't perfection, but striving for it nonetheless, and this is the day it was, and this is who you are. And I thank you for that. I love that energy. I love the grounded, practical side of you. I love the ability to appreciate the simplest of things like nature and beauty, and just walking out and realizing how grateful and how beautiful life can and is so much of the time, even during the worst possible circumstances. There are silver linings, and so I had to bring that up. But I am going to pick your highlighted sign, Virgo, because this is spirit guided and it's picked right in front of you, as I always do. And I do want to, reiterate this. I tend to do this for those that are new watching and those that are coming back. I love and appreciate you always. And I will say it to you every single time because it will never change. It only gets more inspiring for me to be here, which is what I love to do anyway. So sending you the message, reading the tarot energies and the oracles is what my channel is about. But I do pick a featured sign, and your highlighted sign, beautiful Virgo, for the second half of September. Could be a person could be merely the energy of this sign or person that you're very much in tune with right now, and it seems to be predominant. Could be because you have a lot of that particular energy and element in your particular natal chart. It could also be someone not in your life yet, so it's something that Spirit is kind of giving you heads up about. This has happened a lot. And the new moon we just had in your sign is all about new, and all about new beginnings in everything. Relationships, your jobs, your ideas, your You're maybe traveling, maybe you've been traveling for the first time in a long time, since a lot of us hadn't been able to. And I know there's still some constraints, but there's still a lot of fun and a lot of good things happening out there. And I think you're a part of that. I truly do. And I want that for you. And if it's your birthday today, which I have a couple friends it is, happy, happy birthday. And for the rest of your sun season, your solar return. We do go into the season of Libra on the 22nd. So it's a couple weeks, and we do have the beautiful fall equinox happening on the same day. So there's some decent changes happening. There's a full moon on the 20th in Pisces, extremely good for you. Your polarity there, absolutely, you're exactly across from, we all have our polar opposites on the astrology wheel, and yours, Virgo, is Pisces. But there's such common and yet, you know, differences that work so well together. And this is a very, very common compatible signs, two signs that I see often, and extremely harmonious in many ways. So your beautiful highlighted connection for the remainder of the month is Aquarius. But I am going to tell you that Aquarius came up as the highlighted yesterday. So I don't do 2 highlights in a row unless it comes up a second time, because then that tells me Spirit saying, oh yes, you will do 2 highlights in a row. But I'm trying to make even the playing field and try to be as fair as possible. It makes a lot of sense though, because it's a very good sign for you as well, the air, and especially when it comes to Aquarius energy, which is very prominent. We have Jupiter and Saturn in Aquarius and will for the remainder of the year, and this is about the mind, and this is something that you're very interested in, you know, the intellect and the expansion and the growing and learning and such. So you got Pisces. I mean, it's like, okay, you're polar opposite. That full moon is going to really have a very, very strong effect from your new moon to the full moon, which is the culmination. It's about your emotions. You know, you are filled with them, and your creativity is opening up in ways that it probably hasn't. You have great insight, great intuition times at the full moon, but especially when it's in Pisces. There is the mutable aspect, is which you're aware of. You have that as well. Pisces was originally, you know, historically, the ruling planet is Jupiter. It's a very optimistic, it's a very upbeat, it's a very fortunate, lucky, you know, magical kind of energy that happens and expands all the things you want as well as the things you don't. So you want to be very aware of your thoughts, of course, but that's something that should happen all the time if at all possible. It really makes a difference in everyone's lives as to what we're thinking, because that becomes what's happening for us. So there you go. We have that beautiful polarity that works extremely well. You help to ground the Piscean, and the Piscean kind of opens you up and just kind of brings out the spiritual side of all of us, because we're all spiritual. Some think about it more than others, and that's just who the Pisces energy and characteristic is. They are the old soul. They've lived many lives, and they come to share that with us on this planet. So very, very compassionate, very, very caring, as are you. So you obviously want to hang out with people who are like-minded in that way, and that's what you're going to get with this beautiful combination. So if anything, and if it's not a person you know of, like I said, you may know, or just think back, because during the retrograde that's pending right now, we're in the shadow period, and it will start on the 27th in Libra. It does bring back people in your life or in circumstances to be karmically worked through yet again, or hopefully for the last time. They're always lessons. They're always there to teach us and to review and to renew and to definitely retreat and, you know, listen to our inner promptings, our inner callings as to what's going to work for in our lives, what to get rid of, what to bring in. You know, it's that time again. So it's always important to do that whenever possible. I would like it every single month, but you know, sometimes we get sidetracked and we don't really take that time. But I will read to you the 4 major categories. And the first one is always the energy bringing you to the reading. And I always like to say, if you're not resonating, it could take some time. There's no specific time in spirit life, you know, as to when you're going to necessarily feel this. But I am saying it's the second half of the month of September, could go certainly into October. And it could be that you would be more resonant with your moon, rising, ascendant, or Venus placement. So I always recommend you do that and look at those, because we're a whole lot more than our sun sign. So beautiful Virgo, caring, loyal, devoted, very, very hardworking Virgo. But you like work, so to you it's not even work a lot of times. You have this, and I'm using the wonderful Cat Tarot, one of my favorite decks. So cute, and I love furry animals. I'm sure most of you watching do. Did I bring them? Thankfully, yes. My glasses. You have to start the Five of Swords. I see. I haven't seen this one in a long time. It's interesting. The swords are the air element. Now, when you first landed, your first highlighted was Aquarius. So you're in the energy of air, or like I said, you may have a lot in your chart, Virgo, or you're associating with the air signs, because that would be Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius. However, having said this, now my mind is starting to really pick up here. We have a lot of planets moving into Libra because we're heading towards Libra season, as I mentioned. We had Venus in Libra. It only just went into Scorpio. Excellent vibe for you. Venus is love. It's money. It's magic. It's romance. It's relationships in general. It's the feminine side of us, you know. And air signs are known to be more masculine, as are, Earth is actually, could be both. I think you are considered a feminine duality with both. However, then we had Mercury, your ruling planet, Venus, Virgo, forgive me, Mercury retrograde shadow. I promise you, I do it a lot, but this is happening even more already. So I'll try again. Libra went into your ruling planet Mercury on, what was it? Not even a week ago. And it'll remain there for a while, until it goes into Scorpio. So of course you're kind of really connecting with that energy, because that's what you're about. That's what your main, ruling energy. And so, and it's all about the fairness and justice when it's about Libra. And then Mars goes into Libra on the 14th of September. So there's this fiery kind of passionate warrior energy in the sign of Libra, which is not about really, war whatsoever. It's more about peace, unless they're fighting for the right cause, and then it's all bets are off. You're going to find and see a side of a Libra you've never seen when it comes to needing and absolutely insisting on justice being prevailing and so forth, which is a lot of what's happening in the world in real time. But so there's that occurring. So point in case is that the air energy is pretty prominent right now, so you're definitely obviously picking up. The Five of Swords is challenge. It is communications that didn't go as well as you would have hoped. Miscommunication. This is huge when we have retrogrades, okay? And certainly Mercury, because Mercury is the thoughts, the mind, how we speak. Are we being heard? And having to resend the emails, restate what we're saying, edit, which, I don't do on my channel, sorry. Probably should, but, just in clarifying yourself and saying it in a way that you make sure that you're understood is really important, especially with business and the things that matter on a practical level for you, Virgo, right? And the people around you, your relationships, whatever. You can see two of the cats are in the background with the back towards you. This is not a good sign for a cat. It kind of says right off the bat what it means. You either want these situations and these conversations to stop and they're done. They're a part of your past. You don't want to go there anymore. You want to eliminate the people that disturb you or cause a ruckus, gossip, all of these things, intrigue. You're not interested in that, okay? There's a pureness of heart with you. You're authentic. You say what you mean what you say, and you don't want to be a part of that. So that's what's kind of coming in the second half of the month. I don't know what happens. It's general. But I think that that's always a possibility. And the best thing you can do is to remove yourself from that situation. And I think that's exactly what you're doing. You're standing tall. You feel good. You know what you need to say. You're going to say it in the most diplomatic way possible. That is what you're about. You don't try to stir up problems, but you're going to state what you feel. So I'm hoping this will be short-lived. Most air element messages are, it's like the clouds, it's our mind and our thoughts are constantly moving and changing. So we want to clear the air and know that, okay, this is a good thing to do by the full moon, Piscean energy of healing, as well as your own beautiful energy. Everything gets worked out, okay? And that's the reality of it. So that is what I'm seeing for the overall energy. And maybe, you know, the sensitivity of the Piscean is really kind of bringing you to your heart center to say, okay, I need to sit and really think about this. What's the best thing for all involved? That's the key component there, right? When it comes to connections in our relationships in general. You know, taking the higher ground, I suppose, right? Not, you know, buckling down or, you know, or that sort of thing, but just knowing best left unsaid type of situation, I would imagine. So the second category is that of possible blessings or obstacles. And you have the Ace of Pentacles. Yes, this is not the first time this has come up, but I feel like it's come up in other categories. But either way, it is an absolute blessing. This is your energy. This is the ace. This is the beginning. This is the powerhouse. You know, new moon. I'm starting this. I'm getting up. I'm making it happen. I know I'm supposed to be on vacation, but I have every right to think and do what I really want to do, which is kind of a Virgo deal too, right? I mean, when you put your mind on something, you don't stop, you don't quit, you keep it moving until it's, you know, reaping the benefits. And you got some gifts coming in, and it's about your practicality, it's about your substantial, you know, safety, security, your work, your income definitely comes into mind. Possibly a whole new gig coming up. I don't know, a new job offer you may not have even thought about before. And maybe someone you talked to them about it with this first card and they were like, oh, you can't do that. That's crazy. You've never done anything even remotely like that. And you said, guess what? Yes, I can. And they were just like, oh, and saunders off or turn their back to you basically, right? But you don't need that. And that's the good news because you got support, you've got help, you've got confidence, you've got capabilities, you got magic, you know? We are manifestors and you're going to make that happen. And I love it. And this is a long-term thing. You know, this is when it's pentacles, it's something that can just be starting, but you have the intention of having it last a lifetime, like most of your friends and your associates and your devotion to people. So that is beautiful. The third category is the category of finances. So it's interesting. It's already starting in your reading and it's just sort of opening up the door to prosperity, absolutely, abundance and prosperity. And I feel like during your season, of course, there's extra special gifts that come from the universe. There is, especially if you ask. And with that new moon in your sign, that would have been the absolute time, and you still can, to really put out those intentions and watch them happen. You know, with the understanding of divine timing, right? It doesn't have to be exactly in your time, but you know that. You're excellent about being patient. So your finances, or once again, as I always say, your wealth in any area that's of importance to you. Your health, your family, your relationships, your animals, your garden, you know. Ooh, you have, okay. You have the, wait, it's this way. Yeah, you have the Nine of Swords. Okay, so you've been overthinking. Now here's a second air element. So you are absolutely picking up on definitely Libra energy. You're wanting to be as fair as possible. You've been losing sleep over certain circumstances and thoughts. And you know, once again, being ruled by Mercury, you're going to be in your thoughts a lot for an earth sign. You're more so than the average bear because, you know, the other sign that is ruled by Mercury is Gemini, and that is an air sign. So there's some commonalities there. And the best thing I can tell you about this as an air sign myself is nip it in the bud. Just stop it as soon as it comes in. As soon as you start to worry and concern yourself about out there circumstances, which nobody has a clue about. I know that a lot of us are psychic. I understand that. We have premonitions, we have gut feelings and signs and everything. However, aside from that, we honestly don't really know. I think most of us base our feelings and worries and anxieties on things that have happened. So if it feels like, oh, it's similar, we tend to go down that path. No, don't want to do it, especially when it comes to your well-being and your finances and your wealth, because you've just been shown that you have some blessings coming in. Don't ever forget them, and be aware of the ones right in front of you right now. And you know how hard you work. You know you deserve everything you have. You have created this for yourself, and to allow yourself to actually enjoy that and tell yourself that over and over, because our thoughts are powerful, powerful energies. Just a word to the wise, okay? This too shall pass. And our sleep is imperative, so we don't want to forget. But if you're like me, this whole past week, I've been watching documentaries on the 9/11, which I had never done in my past. And it's affected my sleep. Last night was crazy dreams because of it. But that's to be expected. That was my doing. I just have to get into things sometimes, and that Scorpio Venus is just about that. It's deep, and it's really intense, and it just wants to delve in and change, change ourselves, change others for the better, to get through the worst, to see the best in all of us, to be the best we can be, to evolve. And the final category is the category of surprises and wishes. And I'm hoping for you that you have some incredible surprises coming your way, and have during your birthday season and onward, and that you were able to celebrate this year, unlike last year for a lot of people. And just know how incredibly beautiful and important you are to so many people. So for the category of your surprises and wishes, which could very well influence you in regards to, your Piscean energy aspect and all of your relationships, you have the King of Cups. And there's the Pisces right there for you, because it doesn't matter if it's a female or a male. The cups are the water signs, which is Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio. So yeah, you have so much. It's so cute. They've got dolphins in the background. It's the maturity of your emotions. It's feeling incredibly comfortable. You've worked really hard and long, let's say, on an existing relationship or marriage, and you're ready to just literally take it to the next level, even after so many years. Or it's brand spanking new, and you're like, you know what? I feel something really right about this, and I'm going with it, and I'm tired of being in the background or saying, oh, I have too much work to do, and oh yeah, I got to do this, that, and the other just to avoid, which is kind of a characteristic of Pisces. It really is. And I have a Pisces rising, so I'm not being unkind to anybody, but that is an energy that can be a part of the Piscean energy, if it's allowed, and of course we go and vacillate through different things. It's a duality sign. It can be that way sometimes, but not at all other times, and very inclined to pick up on other people's energy leading to that. So boundaries, which is really exactly what Piscean is having no boundaries, but needing to set them up at times. You are so incredibly wealthy and once again, capable of so much, and the emotions are wonderful, because emotions create our lives more, I think, than anything else. Our thoughts definitely have a big part of it. Our spirit and the fire aspect of us, the grounding and making sure it's stable and it's structured and it stays a certain way, as much as possible. But the cups are our heart. They're our passion. They're our feelings, our emotion. They're the love that we can show and feel and be for people and ourselves. So that's wonderful. And I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of Virgos have a very prominent water sign energy in their lives, whether it be romantic or not. This is what it's saying. And you might be surprised of an invitation or a commitment that's coming about. That's all I'm saying. And it is I think it's a longer period of time, even for more than you, because you're not always in a rush either, Virgo. But when you make up your mind, you know. But I feel like water signs are so sensitive. They're like, I don't know, I'm going to hold off and just make sure, and they're more hesitant to jump in and make a commitment perhaps, but not always, of course. I could be completely off base with a lot of the water signs too. So when you know you got it, it's there. That's it. That's all that matters. And that's what I'm feeling. So beautiful reading. You've got, you know, 2 swords, which is the air, the mind. So there's a lot of thoughts and conversations and, you know, sorting out, clearing out. Truth is there. And then you've got, you know, the beautiful pentacles, which is you, and water. So, and cups, just, you know, the emotions. It's a nice balance. You know, the only thing that's missing is the wand. But let's see what the oracle messages have to say, because sometimes they'll sneak in that final element. But either way, yes, I just want to thank you for once again being here. If you have not subscribed and liked, please do me that favor. It's very, very supportive. It only takes a moment, and so many people watch, but they don't actually subscribe or like, and it's beautiful to do, and I really appreciate it. So I'm going to put that out there every time, and thank those that have, of course. And so your first oracle is one of my favorites, and it's definitely very versatile because it covers the major arcana in the tarot. It covers all the chakras and then the 4 elements, depending on the card that comes up. So it is the psychic tarot for the heart. Heart is where it's at. Heart is the most intelligent organ in our body, and intuitive, and you know, it's what brings the love that we have in this world, and will continue to bring forth, you know, even during the most difficult times. It's what saved us all this time. It's not going to stop. It's only going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. So for you, beautiful, beautiful Virgos, oh gosh, you have the beautiful number 6, which is in numerology the 6th house, or a day-to-day, you know, balancing. Once again, there's the Libra influence, but you know, balancing our lives, our work, our relationships, our family, and juggling it, which a lot of people do so well, and they don't even stop and realize what they're doing. But a lot of people realize, whoa, I'm doing all this. You have healing begins. I mean, it's just, it couldn't be more perfect. And I mean, I mentioned earlier, you represent absolute archetype of healing. You know, you tend to be in the service of many times doctors and nurses and practitioners and people that are in that field, and many others as well. But this is you. This is Pisces. This is this month, and it's once again fully understandable with what occurred on September 11th that it's going to be a continual healing process for all of those affected. You know, which is basically all of us on the planet, truly, in some way. I'm going to read to you what it says, though, okay? And it is blue, and I believe, I'm not 100%, I believe that is the air element, excuse me. They consider it to be indigo, so let me look under that category first. The red, of course, is you, is the pentacles. Did I just pass it? Yes. So this is mental. And yes, you start by your thoughts. You can create havoc, or you can create bliss by allowing yourself to think and believe in your mind, which then works throughout the body and the energies and what we put out to others, knowingly or otherwise. And so, yeah, there you are again with that which is why I think, like I said, you originally got Aquarius. But that's okay, because you can recognize that Pisces was very important for you as well. The key words are release, heal, assistance, and hope. Release is key this month. I've been reading that for so many signs. The energies around you are guiding you toward a better place concerning dealings of the heart. The energies bring new information, new ideas, and new people to you. New moon, you know, retrograde. They will assist you in evaluating your current situation and help you improve it. Even good situations can be made better. What are your hopes and dreams around relationships? Be comforted that you're being moved in their direction now. Okay? And I'm going to go back to the first one, because this is important, that you're comforted by the people you're around and moving in that direction, and allowing yourself to finally, just once and for all, say, you know what? it's time to move on. It's time to keep it moving. I need to detach myself and purge certain relationships that are toxic. They're not good for me. And I know that. I'm not going to kid around or fool myself anymore. Because you can do that. You do care enough to where you will go there if you're allowed to. And I think a lot of you have been doing that, and you're saying, okay, this is the day, this is the year, this is the time, this is my solar return that I'm going to start fresh and be inviting new energies in. So this is, healing's beautiful, right? Healing happens when we allow it to, and it's necessary for every single one of us on this planet. So I love that for you. I'm going to finish with your super attractor manifestation message, mantra, affirmation, just for you in the second half of the month, Virgo. Once again, I love you and appreciate you for so many reasons and for taking the time today to listen to the messages that come through, and I'm so grateful to be a conduit for that. So in closing, your beautiful message, and I only just got this too, but it's perfect because it's the red, powerful, fiery root chakra, which is the ground, which is our sustenance, which is being present and stable and secure in ourselves and our ability to live our lives and create our lives in the way we choose. You know, and that's just, it says my super attractor power comes from how I feel, my faith and love, and the joy I put out. Notice how it says how I feel first and foremost, because that's what really brings the law of attraction into reality for us. So there you go. Have an incredible, blessed, and healing remainder of the month. I'd love to have you come back around for the beginning of the month, October readings. Yep, I'm saying it, October, November, December. It'll be Christmas. Did I just say that? Sorry. But anyway, thank you so much again. Till next time, take care. Bye for now.